I know your name. Don't hide from me, 'cause I see all your pain. It's written in your eyes. You and I, we are one and the same. For better or for worse, our dreams are our curse. We are united in our pain. So tell me why we live like angels with no halos, walking blind in a wasteland, a graveyard out of sight and out of mind. It must be crazy to live so aimlessly, and yet so confined. We survive. We are fighters and we break the odds alive. We break the odds alive. Even when you're on your own, you don't walk alone. I'm by your side. Somehow we Telling you why we're gifted with touch inside, but we're so blind to the demons that we all fight. Is this really by design? And if so, then what happened to our human side? If we can't let go of the hate in our souls, then I fear we've wasted our lives. We survive. We are fighters and we break the odds alive. We break the odds alive. Even when you're on your own, you don't walk alone. I'm by your side. Somehow we survive. We are fighters and we break the odds alive. We break the odds alive. Even when you're on your own, you don't walk alone. I'm by your side.
Whee! That's one way of introducing it. Happy days. Ladies and gents, welcome. It's Ring Warriors Day. It's a Friday. If you're brand new to the world of Ring Warriors, welcome. As if you have any questions, by all means, drop them in. Before we go in to our game this evening, sadly, Evie, aka Artemis, will not be joining us this week, which is fine because of volunteer work, which is a noble cause, so I cannot complain. I do that myself with a radio show. So hey ho. So, what you see on screen right now is a look at, of course, the Wrestler's Manual, which I took a mini breather over Christmas because I thought, no, I've been working super hard. It's Christmas. Take a breather. All that jazz.
Yeah,
What have I now started? I've started a very painful process known as expanding the weapon list. Why is it painful? Some may ask. Well, before my rework on the weapons list, because it's more so a rework to work in the damage outputs, the break die, which is a mechanic where if you keep using the weapon so much, eventually it becomes unusable as a weapon and it breaks, which does happen more so in like the WWE video games, but it's something that actually works in game as well to balance out damage output of the weapons. So initially, I believe we had 24, 25 weapon options, which was alright. It was fine. It worked. Some were quirky. Some were a little bit random. That's what it's all about. The list has now been expanded, if we have a look, to a few pages. 91 in total. Well, I believe it's now gone back down to 91 because there was one weapon I could not really build and balance. And if I just...
That's a lot of damage.
The sheep!
The shape! Thank you very much for Rock for the follow. Welcome to the Explosive Armada. If I remind myself quickly, the weapon I had to remove was actually... I had to remove championship belts as usable weapons. Do you sleep? Jesus! I don't sleep. That's my secret. Effectively, I had to remove championship belts as weapons. And people might be thinking, what? Solely championship belts are like the most used weapons in the entire game. Seems for the week? Exactly, Yuki. There's a reason why I had to remove championship belts, and I'll gladly explain it. Championship belts in the game, especially at the moment, are built around you working your butt off to earn a championship, and then the championship granting you a unique power that you can then use in encounters or even outside of an encounter. Which obviously then gives you an incentive to keep being a champion and defend the belt, etc. The big problem with using your championship belt as a weapon is that you cannot really put a break die on a championship belt, because then you break your championship belt, which then, in logic terms, means that the power you're getting from your championship belt is then broken, and then you've got to go out of your way in-game to find someone or be someone that can then repair your championship belt reliably and carry on. Even then, you can technically then be an extremist in the game, and the extremist is the only style in the entire game that has the power to make it so that any weapon they are proficient with has no break die. Effectively making it so that you can use a championship belt, which originally I was going to give 1d6 damage. That's 1d6 damage at least once every single turn without fail that you know will never break. Never mind that championship belt also giving you a superpower that you can also use in your same turn. Or even combine with the weapon attack itself to make that weapon attack insane. It is so unbalanced and such a problem, I could not warrant putting it in the weapon list. Does it mean you cannot use your championship belt as a weapon? No, you can. But using a championship belt as a weapon in this universe can come with big consequences, which is why I'm probably going to construct its own section for the GM section of the game later in the manual, because it's such a big problem and it's such a big deal that it might be a rule that you would only bring in if you want to have hardcore rule sets in your campaign. Which I obviously want to give options for those who want to go a little bit more insane, by all means. But for those who just want a casual playthrough that don't want to worry about breaking their precious championship belt, I have had to remove it, at least for the time being.
So basically like Oathbreaker in D&D.
In a way. It's one thing being that it's very hard to balance. It's another thing with the fact that this is very much a weapon that, as much as we can obviously use it as a weapon, should not be used as a conventional weapon, unlike everything else on this list. So with that logic alone, championship belts cannot be regular weapons. However, this does potentially open up the idea of having replica belts as weapons, which I am more than willing to try out, and that'll add a quirky nature to the replica belts, so that you can use them as actual weapons instead, and then smash them over someone's head and they break, but that's fine, it's a replica. That could be cool. But at least for now, championship belts are not on the weapon list. But one weapon out means we have so many more, and I'm going through this list as best I can, taking my time. Some of you might have even seen my stream last week where I started work on some of these. Because we've got a 2x4, we've got the bag of thumbtacks, we've got bamboo canes, barbed wire, baseball bats, body oil, branding irons, brass knuckles, briefcases, broken glass, bull rope, C4 explosives. Yes, we're putting explosives into the game. Cacti. Cans.
Oh god.
Canes. Cars. Yes, you can actually use cars as weapons. Caskets. Casts, as in like body casts. Cattle prods, chains, chainsaws, crowbars, crutches, drills, electric tasers, and the list goes
That was
on.
just C.
And that's just
basically just C.
Basically. The list is insane.
On the subject of cacti, I can see some unorthodox uses for that.
Yes, very much so.
The old adage, anything's a deal. No, I'm not gonna go there.
No.
I was gonna say we didn't start the fire after the whole list has been revealed.
And so, the main gist with the weapons as well, I want to do a quick breakdown of things. So, with weapons, at the moment, we have obviously the name of a weapon, the damage of a weapon, which in the case of a 2x4 is 1d6, and the break die, which, as I explained earlier, is basically the die you roll when you start using your weapon to determine how many times you can use said weapon as an attack before that weapon then becomes unusable in an attacking sense. Helping to balance things out. Because even in the wrestling world, you don't see a wrestler use a weapon from beginning to end in order to win a match. Because I think the best way of explaining it, or the best example I can give, is Triple H in the WWE, for example. His go-to weapon is a sledgehammer. He only ever goes to get the sledgehammer when he knows he's in desperate need of an equalizer. And even then, he can only land the sledgehammer if the perfect opportunity arises, thus creating an opportunity to win. Another great example is Sting. More so Crow Sting than the main Coach Sting! Crow Sting.
Crow Sting's new entrance was great.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome.
Oh, thank you very much. Tales of Gaming Addiction is hosting! Oh! Thank you, Brian.
Woo!
Great, man. Check out Tales of Gaming Addiction, by
Yeah.
the way, ladies and gents. Great Twitch channel. Highly recommend. Not just because we play D&D there every Monday, but because it is good.
Yeah, it's awesome times there.
There you go. And it was fun the other day because I was actually watching the Sea of Thieves stream. That was really fun. Great times. But anyway. Yeah, so the example I have with Crow Sting's signature weapon is his black baseball bat. Now in a match, that doesn't necessarily mean he uses the black baseball bat from beginning to end in order to win. Again, he kind of acts like Triple H when he knows if a desperate need arises and he needs that equalizer, the black bat is his go-to. It's more so the idea that if you need that equalizer and if you're feeling a little bit dastardly and evil and you maybe need that little bit of a push, got that weapon at your disposal if you can find it. Because the trick with GMs is that, do you put these under the ring? Do you put these around the ring? If you're not even in a ring-based wrestling environment, do you have any of these around the local vicinity? Or do you use these as the base work? But let's say, instead of you're using a 2x4, you're actually using a branch you've knacked off of a tree. And it kind of works with the same damage output. That's the idea I'm getting with here. Now, explaining all that, some weapons have what I have called weapon traits. Again, I went through this on the stream last Friday as I was thinking of an idea for it, but some weapons have weapon traits. The weapon traits mean that sometimes a weapon has bonus functions on top of just being a regular weapon you can smash over the head with against someone. In this case, with a bag of thumbtacks, regularly, if you just had the bag of thumbtacks in your hand, smacked it over someone's head, 1d4 damage, 1d4 break die. However, it comes with the weapon trait setup as bonus feature, or what should be bonus function. There we go. And it says 2d12 damage, instant break. And the weapon trait being that you can set up thumbtacks on the floor or on a piece of equipment, for example, throw someone into the thumbtacks, dealing more damage, but then the thumbtacks are completely used. So then it gives you the option, do you whack or do you set up? But bearing in mind, setting up may cost anywhere from a bonus function to a full-on function, or even part of your sequence to get done. Which then adds some interesting caveats. Even then, we have weapons such as barbed wire, which, as you can see here, doesn't have damage or break die, and it is instead called an implement weapon. Implement weapons are basically barbed wire, for example, is the idea that when you have barbed wire on its own, it's not going to be nearly as effective as if you had a barbed wire piece of 2x4, a barbed wire bamboo cane, a barbed wire baseball bat. The idea with implement weapons is that you take barbed wire, combine it with something else, you've got yourself a more damaging weapon. So in the case of the barbed wire, its weapon trait is that you can combine it with other weapons to add 2d4 damage when your opponent fails a toughness save upon being hit by that barbed wire weapon. Now we have some more interesting things going on. And then like some more interesting things, like the briefcase's weapon trait is loadable, so you can load the briefcase with items to make it heavier, thus dealing more damage, but then you might need to be more powerful to lift the briefcase itself. You've got things like the C4, for example, that has 3 different C4 versions, such as remote C4, where you can just blow it up whenever you want, contact C4, where as long as your opponent hits it, boom, or time C4, where you can set a timer on it, and as long as your opponent's nearby, boom. It's great. Now, you'll notice one problem with the weapons so far. Some of these weapons you would think have range to them, because of course, different weapons, different lengths, different implementations, different ranges, whether it be whacking or throwing. Makes sense. Range will be added onto the weapons after I've written them all. More so because range will be easy to calculate and easy to balance once I know what the weapons do and I know how much damage the weapon does, even adding in the weapon traits. If I started adding in range now, not just would it take ages to get every single weapon done, whilst obviously working through the entire list, it also means that like I can work on a weapon way at the beginning of the list, such as the 2x4, and give it a range of like 10 feet, for example, and then later on down the line I have a weapon such as the baseball bat that can be a similar size to the 2x4, and yet that can have a range of 15 feet while that has 10 feet, and you're like, how big is this friggin' baseball bat? What the hell? So I've got it in my own head, right? I've got a system. The system works for now. Needless to say, I'm having fun putting this all together. We might do some more streams of me working on Ring Warriors in general, where we can just chill as I work on it, which I quite like the idea of. I'm going to read Yuki's comment in the meantime. I do apologise, Yuki, for taking a while. Tommy Dreamer and Sandman were known to use kendo sticks. I think someone used to wear cowboy boots into the ring so he could hurt people with those. You're very right. That was originally I want to say Cowboy Bob Orton, but it wasn't Cowboy Bob Orton, because he was the wrestler that actually authenticated the use of an arm cast as a weapon, where he faked an injury, went down to the ring as a manager to help one of his friends out, and then cunningly used his cast to smack someone on the back of the head while the referee wasn't looking to get more damage in. Classic move, I love it. But weighted cowboy boots have specially existed. And guess what? Weighted boots, I believe, are in this list somewhere. We got some crazy weapons that I'll be working on, such as the Eva-soaked rags in order to knock people out, which will be its weapon trait, handcuffs, kenzans, which are just really interesting little spike things from Japan. Look them up. Imagine them in a wrestling match. Ow. And then you have classic things like rolls of coins, tanks of hermit crabs, and tanks of piranhas. Bearing in mind, these weapons are all based off of weapons used in actual wrestling matches in real life. Most of them from Japan, because the Japanese are freaking crazy. I say it every week, and I stand by it. They're freaking crazy.
I had a thought, Dom. Obviously, I can imagine the answer already, but like, if a wrestler was really, really, really small, like a gnome, would they be able to fit into a briefcase and use them as a surprise during the match?
Depends on if it's a gnome-sized briefcase.
Or if it's like a cello case or like a guitar case.
Yeah.
If it's like a cello or a guitar case, sure, I'd let that happen. Load the gnome and use the gnome in the case technique. I'd rock that. Like, it kind of goes hand in hand with what I did with the car, where the idea with the car is that you can literally use it as I lift the car and smash it into my opponent, but that's going to require a huge strength check to do. Or you can actually use the car just to drive into your opponent instead, which then nullifies the strength check, but then you got to drive and hope you hit them, or else you're going to be in the midst of a car crash. But that's the fun part. I love it. We're working on weapons, guys, and it's fun, and I can't wait for more. After we're finished with weapons, I've got the old weapon list here, which will eventually go once the new weapon list is in. And then when we're done with weapons, we get to go over the 100 championship powers and rework all of this. Yep.
Hooray.
All of this. Everything. It's still going. There it is. It's, yeah.
Well, you'll be done by 2021 at least.
True. Hopefully. Maybe. Not. Then, of course, I might go over, like, these are the gimmicks. I'm probably going to go over the gimmicks just to make sure, refine them a little bit. I might even add a new one here or there. The wrestle point system, which I think is actually pretty solid. It's a great little system that I put together. The climax moves breakdown is absolutely fine. I just think I need to change some of the abilities because they might be a little bit too crazy. But I did a mini rework and it should be okay. But again, we'll come to that when I get to it. And then the GM section, which of course is going to be fleshed out. At the moment, we just have all the different match types, which I'm hoping to just double check over, make sure everything's good. And yeah, we'll go from there. So that's so far with the game development. More development will be worked on, obviously, over time. Hopefully more streams of me working on the game and all that jazz, which if you do want to see, let me know, because I actually really like working on the game on live stream and chatting to people about it and working on it. It's great. But we're not here to work on the game tonight. We're actually here to play it. So
Yeah.
I'm going to transition over to Game Screen. Whoop. And ladies and gents, we're ready to play us some Ring Warriors.
Hooray.
Happy days.
We are.
So, of course, what actually happened last time? Well, last time, throughout this entire time, the gang have been in the Bermuda Triangle, the go-to central place for all Sharkon kind. With the Sharkons, aka the Shark people of the world. The gang were all here for one reason. Big championship match on the horizon between Lavanya Wreckable and Mike Jaws for the World Hardcore Championship. Everyone had their fair share of matches that went really well for pretty much everyone across the board. And then the main event. But whilst the main event was going down inside of a shark cage, there was mischief happening behind the stage where the rest of the party were fighting off 3 mysterious dudes, a giant, elf, and then what seemed to be a drow elf with a muzzle on him, who was very animalistic. The guys on both ends managed to fend off the cheeky guys round the back that just seemed to be up to no good. Lavanya doing quite well against Mike Jaws also, which was also pretty good. But then, chaos struck. A mysterious individual appeared into the ring, seemed to take down Mike Jaws before Lavanya's eyes and fade away, leaving Lavanya with the toughest choice she has ever had to make so far. Does
Yes.
she pin Mike Jaws and take what is rightfully hers, or does she not, because it is an unhonourable way of winning that belt? She thought about it, she pondered, she had her dad looking dead at her, and she made the decision to pin, becoming World Hardcore Champion but not feeling happy about it.
Mhm.
Her dad coming into the ring, giving her the belt, clarifying you are champion now, Lavanya coming back at him, them having a bit of a dispute, and then Lavanya was knocked out by her own dad, him using his climax move known as the Heartbreaker Punch, knocking out Lavanya for 2 months.
I thought it was 2 weeks.
Sorry, 2 weeks. I do apologise for that. Bit crazy. Knocking Lavanya out for 2 weeks. But don't worry, she's absolutely fine. Great recovery. Finding out that the mysterious individual that interfered in that match may be linked to a travelling circus known throughout the world as Mad World. Simple as. What does this mean? Where will you go? There's one way to find out, and that is to play Ring Warriors, our first session of 2020.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Happy days. So, from where we left off, you guys are in the hospital with Lavanya in the Bermuda Triangle, still going over some bits as to what the best plan of action may be, now that you know potentially the identity of the person that interfered in Lavanya's big match. So the next big question is, what would you guys like to do?
Deadly silence. I mean, what? So I'm assuming that Lavanya is well enough to at least be discharged from the hospital and that.
Yes, absolutely. At this
Okay.
point, you're it's been at least another week after you've come out of the coma, and you've gained your recovery, you've gained your footing, you're able to walk again. You're still feeling a little bit rough in certain places, but you're much better than you were. Like, you can lift fine, you can do things fine. You may have a bit of phantom pain that occasionally comes up in the night, but you're fine otherwise.
Because during the week that she's kind of recovering, I mean, I would like to see how Mike Jaws is doing.
Okay. During that week, well, obviously you are the new hardcore champion. You can even use your championship prowess to get that information. It's just as simple as that. But because you are the hardcore champion and you're in the world of the Sharkons, people have seen your match, they really enjoyed it. Out of respect, you have been informed of Mike Jaws' recovery. He is recovering quite well. However, the doctors are still worried about the quality of his back. Those who watched the stream will remember that Mike Jaws, when he was attacked by this mysterious being, was put in a move that caused his back to be clicked backwards. And the doctors are still very worried that his back could be very heavily injured. So at the moment, he is bedbound. He is...
I was going to say, is he conscious?
He is conscious and awake, but he has been told that he needs to rest a lot. He's not being allowed to move a lot because the doctors are preparing for intrusive surgery in order to repair his back. Hopefully, get him standing again, yet alone resting again.
because if he was conscious at one time, so tempted to talk to him and shit.
Well,
You know
you
what?
are the
Yeah.
world hardcore
Yeah.
champion.
Out
the
of
world
respect,
champion you have
I
there.
will converse
Right.
and all that jazz.
Will you let everyone in with you or just yourself?
I mean, people are more than welcome to join, but I don't mind if people aren't interested in seeing the dude.
Fair play.
Liam actually would like to see how Mike Jaws is doing.
Okay, cool. You'll go with.
And
What about the Urg?
Ergy Pergy.
Yeah, I'll check on the shark.
Okay, cool. Artemis, however, is going to opt out. Being more so that Artemis wants to check up on AJ and just make sure AJ's okay. Because of course AJ's been wrecking his mind over the whole Mad World thing, and people are still thinking that AJ is involved with the attack. Artemis is going to try and calm some bits down whilst you guys are seeing Mike. Initially, there are some guys outside of Mike's hospital room, and all you have to simply do is show off the world championship belt that you have. They look at you, look at each other, understand. No, she has right over us. Lets you guys in. And as you enter, you just see the bed that Mike Jaws is in. You just see the covers over the majority of his body, with his head popping out at the end, him with his eyes closed at this moment in time, and the machines beeping, buzzing, doing as they do.
Well, shit. Yeah, Levant. I mean, if there's a chair in the room, Lavagna's going to pull up a pew.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a couple of chairs. There's a couple of chairs.
Yeah, she isn't going to say anything out of respect for, Jaws still having his eyes closed and shit, But, yeah, she's just going to sit there and just look at them.
Okay, lovely.
Oh, shit.
Right. Always. Anything else from anyone else?
Liam actually pulls out his little handy device and starts to check on if he can find some medical records about incidences like what happened earlier.
Alrighty. If you want to do that, roll me a smarts check whilst you're doing that. And sorry, Vinny, you say what you were saying.
So Erg is just stand at the bottom of the bed. He's gonna produce a small bunch of grapes from somewhere, put it on the bedside beside him, and just never thought Erg say this. I hope you get well soon.
So it's 1d12 plus smarts.
That will be 1d6 plus smarts. How the system works now.
Yes.
It's been D6 for a little while now, dude.
It has been a while though. It's been quite a bit since we were back in.
Very good point.
That's 11.
Ooh, very nice. You have a rummage through with your little hacky device.
Mm-hmm.
Doing typing away at times and just being okay, medical records. You have a look and you manage to find some details. Specifically, you stumble upon an actual image of Mike Jaws' back X-ray. And you know that the regular curvature of the spine, it's kind of you have the neck bit, and then it kind of has this perfect bend in it, going down to the tailbone.
Yes.
His back is so badly damaged that there are parts of the actual segmented bone in his back that have noticeable cracks in it. As well as that, you also notice that certain parts of his back, certain parts of his spine that hold the cartilage, which is the little gelatin, hardened gelatin sections in between the bones so they don't rub and grind against one another, has either gone completely or has thinned to a very thin layer.
Ooh.
So you know this damage on his back is insane.
Yeah, it's quite extensive.
Very much. So, you knowing this, Navanya's just taking a seat and Erg putting the grapes on the table. As Erg puts the grapes on the table, Mike just hears Erg saying what he says, just goes, I never thought you'd put grapes on my table.
Welcome to the world of the living, Jaws.
I don't know, I preferred being dead at this rate. Oh, if this is my guests, what?
Well, you can't be dead because I'm keeping... You can't be dead yet, because... You're gonna think I'm crazy saying this, but... I don't deserve this belt. Not until I've beaten you properly with no interference. Which is why I'm gonna wait until you get better. And let's say we should have a rematch sometime for this belt. You and me.
Mike just seems to snap open his eyes at this point as he's still laying down. And as he's opened his eyes and he looks over towards you, so like, oh great, I lost my belt to one of those types of champions. Oh, you better believe we're having a rematch. I don't know who attacked me, but the last thing I want is a cheater.
Yeah. I was pretty pissed off myself. Think of me keeping this belt as a kind of security measure until you get better.
As far as I'm aware, Snake, that belt's still mine. You better be up for war once I get out this damn bed.
I'll be ready for anything once you're back up and running.
He kind of gives you one of his authentic Mike Jaws shark tooth grins as a sign of I'll look forward to it. But yet again, it's a strange sign of respect.
I mean, one question though.
I never thought I could feel positive feelings towards Mike Jaws. But there we go.
I know, right?
I mean,
Sign of a good DM.
welcome.
GM, sorry.
I mean, do you have any idea who attacked you?
I mean, I didn't even see the guy. Everyone's telling me it was this guy wearing a mask over his face with a giant smiley face on it. I don't care whether it was a smiley face, a sad face, a kitty face. I want to destroy his face.
Hey, easy there, buddy. You should take it easy if you want to claim this belt back.
Just showing signs of being pissed, but he can't even truly express himself without pain. Just promise me one thing.
Hmm?
When you find that asshole, don't fight him. Destroy him.
Well, if I do find the asshole, then yeah, we can certainly sort him out in your name. But like I said, you better like, you better survive this operation, and you better get back on your feet, because I want to because I want to take this belt from you properly.
Oh, don't you worry. Once I'm out of this bad boy, the first thing I'm doing is getting my belt back.
Can't wait.
I don't care about the relationship between you and your dad, but I want to destroy him just as much as I want my belt back.
Well, you're gonna have to get in line, because he and I have a family business to catch up on. Unpleasant family business.
He he accepts what's he kind of like gives like a little nod, as best of a nod as he can give, in acknowledgement. He kind of just rests his head back onto a pillow, closing his eyes. As he lays back, he just calls out, "Now, are you chumps done in here, or can I actually get some rest?"
Yeah, I think we're done. I mean, I'm certainly done in here. Just wanted to say get well soon, so I can beat the absolute living crap out of you properly. Just so you know, I was winning.
Winning. He kind of like chuckles a little bit, and then he says, "You were either winning, or I was giving you an easy time."
I'd go with the former.
He just keeps like chuckling a little bit as he sticks in his bed. Not chuckling too hard, because he knows
Oh yeah.
it kind of hurts.
Lavanya's sort of like kind of smiling throughout all this, like just as a like slight smile, as if it's like two friends just having a good old chuckle over shit. Yeah.
Anyone else want to do or say anything, or are we all good?
Liam just seems thoughtful and starts to walk out the door. As he is walking out, he just says, "Get well soon," and let's hope it's not ending your wrestling career, because that would be a bad end.
Erg's heading out the door, and he just turns to him and goes,
Goes what, man? He
Goes
goes what?
"I don't know,
Goes-
hello? Sorry,
Yeah, hey.
don't know if you heard. Yeah,
Oh.
don't know if you heard me.
No. Like,
Oh,
it was,
okay.
and goes, dot.
Ah. Yeah, Erg's walking out the door, and he just turns to Mike and goes, "Was a good fight, but Erg still thinks you're an ass." And then flashes him a smile and a thumbs up and walks out.
Yeah. Yeah, Lavanya will get up, goes to the door, turns around and said, "Like I said, you better get better for that match. I'll be waiting."
You don't necessarily see Mike Jaws move or react to it, but you could just get a faint feeling that if he was able to move, he would like give you a thumbs up or some kind of hand gestures Mike Jaws would do to accept the challenge.
Alright. And
Lovely.
then I walk out the door.
Yo. So, you guys walk out and leave Mike to his recovery. As you walk out the door, you can see that Artemis is hanging out with AJ. They come up to you guys. And as they come up to you guys, like they are like AJ specifically just goes, "So how's Mike doing?"
Uh, other than feeling bits and bobs of pains here and there, he seems cocksure of himself as usual. Yes.
Oh my god. Hamstring.
Yes.
There we are. AJ just confirms it all. He's like, alright. And then he looks, and then he kind of like snaps his fingers and looks back up to you guys and just goes, "Oh, I completely forgot." Rummages through like his pockets, and he has like a crumpled up piece of paper in his hands. He passes that piece of paper over to you, Lavanya,
Okay.
and says, "I found this. Might give you guys just the right amount of information you need if you're gonna track down those Madwell guys."
Okay. What does the piece of paper say? I take the piece of paper. What does it say?
You uncrumple the crumpled up piece of paper. As you do, you see it as a poster. A poster for the Mad World Circus itself. That just so happens to be in town in Miami, Florida.
Ooh.
Actually coming up to Miami next week. From when you guys are now.
Lavanya will pass the poster to Liam.
Liam looks at it. Then he says that, well, I guess we'll know where we are going next. And also, as there is a little more peaceful moment just between us, I want to show you something.
Oh. Go ahead.
And then Liam opens up his device and shows Lavanya that, look, how does this x-ray look to you?
I don't know. I'm no doctor, but looks kind of fucked up to me.
That just looks and goes, "It's a skeleton."
That's Mike Jaws' back. How badly it is damaged.
Where the fuck did you manage to get that from?
I have my ways.
Even AJ and Artemis are seeing it and they're just taken back by how bad it is. Even though AJ does have his beef with Mike, he even shows a bit of recompense about this. It's not nice to see how severe these injuries can get sometimes.
Even so, yeah, carry on.
Even AJ just comes out going, "So Mike's going to be out for quite a while, isn't he?"
Yes.
Damn.
You see these thin lines between the bones? They should be a lot thicker.
My god. Guess I'm going to have to put my my hopes for taking him on the back of my head for now. It's going to be a while. And I already know as soon as he's up, he's going to want that belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he certainly will do.
Oh, I guess the only other question I got now is, what are you guys going to do? I mean, got the championship, that's what you were here for. What's next?
Actually, I was thinking about things and I decided I can't leave the gym. I can't leave the gym that helped me learn so much about not being angry at the past. So, looks like you guys will be going to the circus without me. I'm gonna hang around the triangle for a bit longer to help spruce the place up, fix a few things here and there. Maybe see if I can't help recruit any more members to the gym.
Yeah.
Bear with me 2 seconds, guys. Back with Streamy Bits in just one mo. Bear with me.
If I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home. When I'm home.
I had a thought about that. Looks at the poster and it's just like he's just reaching into his rocks, just looking at something. It's like that looks like we're going to the circus, and then pulls out some sunglasses and puts them on with intent.
With intent. Yeah, we're back. Apologies.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yes,
You guys are going to the circus. But like I said, I'm gonna hang around the Bermuda Triangle for a little bit longer. I can't just take the belt and then leave. I just feel like too much of it. I just think that's an asshole move to do. The last
Yeah.
thing I want to be is as big of an asshole as Mike Jaws. I mean, it won't be forever. We're gonna bump into each other again. It's just you guys go get the person who wrecked Jaws.
Yeah. We will.
Oh, surprised you're not more emotional about this, but I suppose I suppose there's no time for tears these days.
You know me. I've seen a lot of terrible things. It makes the heart. Well, it makes the heart and the emotions be harder to reach.
Well, either way, that should probably help you guys deal with the bastards at the circus. So, yeah. I suck at saying goodbye, so yeah. It's been great fighting alongside you guys. This is where we part ways for now.
Yeah,
But we'll see each other again.
we shall.
Won't
So-
be the same without you, Snake Girl.
And even
Who will punch?
there you go.
Sorry?
Who will punch?
I'm
And-
sure you'll be the rock on everyone's side. No pun intended. And yeah, it's been a short time knowing you, Artemis, but yeah, thanks for the tarot reading, card reading, and that, and yeah, go have fun with the rest of the guys.
Artemis just goes over and thanks because they didn't think they would enjoy being like a rag'em tag'em group of wrestling prodigies. But no, Artemis is really enjoying themselves. Goes up to you, shakes your hand,
Oh yeah,
which
she
is something
shakes
you
back.
haven't really seen Artemis do before. Then, when Artemis leaves your hand, you notice there is something there.
Ooh.
Leaving a tarot card to hopefully guide your future. Which is-
I'm intrigued by this tarot card.
And it is the fortune card.
Ah, okay.
As Artemis just simply looks on and just says, hopefully that card will bring you good fortune whilst we wait to see you again.
Thanks. It's kind of suitable, actually. Yeah.
I mean, I would have given you the death card, but I think that's more appropriate for now.
Maybe it's a kind of one door closes, another door opens kind of business. I don't know.
Let's go with
But either way, fortune card will do.
Okay. With that being done, the split occurs. Vanya has decided to stay, whilst the remainder of the party heads out in hunt of Mad World. But how will you head over to Miami? Well, it just so seems that because the Bermuda Triangle is not too far from Florida, the local guys, AJ especially because he knows a lot of the local guys, let them know that you guys, the contenders, were on the same card, need to find a way over to Miami. Lavanya, you might have even flashed like your world heavyweight belt, like your world hardcore belt a few times just to let them think.
She's flashing like the belt, like just to make sure that everyone's sort of travels are like easier to get across and that.
Definitely. And effectively, they've gotten you a ride on a very sturdy, very, very regular travelling boat full of other guys. As you are seen to the boat, you even see like a nice big group of SharkCon fans that have come out to see you guys off. Some with like actual wrestling signs. You see an odd one in the crowd that does say "She Punch." That's it. You also see one that says "Slam 'em, erg." You see another sign. You see one interesting sign that calls Liam Cyberjacker O'Reilly, as if they're trying to like give you their own nickname.
Yeah.
And even Artemis, they're just calling Artemis New Hand of Fate. To see an odd sign out there. But then you guys are sadly off to Miami, Lavanya being left behind. So, for the first time ever, Ring Warriors, Lavanya's character will be removed from the screen.
Oh.
At times.
It won't be forever. She
It
will
won't be.
come back.
It won't be.
Winston Lavanya's honour.
Nice.
Aw.
So a trip to Miami itself, quite sturdy, quite straight, quite true. Doesn't take you a week to get there, but it does take you at least half a week. It takes you quite a bit of time, at least for the majority of a day and a bit, to get on over to the shores of Miami Beach, where the circus is about to take place. As you land on Miami, it's daytime. It's the hustle and bustle of Miami Beach itself. You've got people walking around with like their shorts, obviously the hot girls with all their bikinis and crazy stuff happening. You also see parts of the beach that are specifically known as the Muscle Beach, where you've got outside gym equipment with the big boys going with the big weights and the big equipment doing big things. So big! And Miami Beach is just ready for a lovely day in the sun.
Can Erg go over to the Muscle Beach and try and lift one of the guys lifting one of the weights while he's trying to lift it?
I mean, let's give this a shot and let's find out. you head on over to the Muscle Beach. You specifically you have this mindset going through your head of, I will show them if they can lift.
I'll pick the biggest guy there.
Okay, you're trying to eye out the biggest guy there, and you see a real big guy. You can judge by just looking at him, he's at least super heavyweight. And you see him just, like, deadlifting all these weights, like, what seems to be flawlessly, while you see all these people just around the Muscle Beach section, just clapping as the deadweight session, or the deadlift session comes to an end. Will you go and lift?
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
So you head on over. As you head on over and prepare your lift, roll me a power check, please.
Double checking, my power's 8, yeah?
That is yes.
I just rolled 14.
Well, that's fantastic. So what this big guy does is he goes back to do another deadlift, and as he does a deadlift and lifts, he gets lifted along with it. And then you're lifting everything up, and the guys around the Muscle Beach are like, "Oh!" as we just see you doing what you're doing, and you just give him one solid lift, not back down, as if you're just pulling him back into place. The audience nearby just going, "Yeah, woo!"
I just pat him on the back and give him a t-shirt and walk off.
I love it. Like, you just throw a t-shirt over his shoulder, pat him on that shoulder whilst you do it. You walk off, and he's just like looking at the shirt, looking over at you, like opening up the shirt, just thinking to himself, "It's not even my size." But heck, nice lift. But whilst you guys are chilling out with the beach, just getting a good sense what's happening about you, you hear the voice of someone you already know. It seems to be coming from behind you, and you notice the sound of a skateboard.
Oh.
Kickflip!
He just goes, "I wasn't expecting you dudes to be in Miami."
To be
Wasn't
honest,
expecting you.
yeah.
Yeah. Of course, it's Kickflip, legendary Loplan extremist from Japan that helped you guys battle those guys. Oh my lord.
The Battle of the Mafia.
I like that with Yuki. How much they bench? A lot.
A lot.
They bench a lot. But yes, Kickflip is here. And as Kickflip is here, obviously you ask him, "What the heck are you doing in Miami Beach?" He just goes, "Dudes, Miami Beach is a place to be, man. I mean, I'm a skateboarder at heart. There was a skateboarding contest out here, and I thought, I know I'm going into wrestling, but damn, why not make some money on the side? Come here as a skateboarder, you know? Make that extra dollar."
How's that working out?
I mean, I'm not doing too bad. I'm currently in the running to win the whole thing, so that's pretty great. And then as
Nice.
he's chilling out at this point with you guys, because obviously he's incredibly friendly with you. And then he just goes, "Wait a minute. Something ain't right here. Where's Lavanya?"
She thought that it would be better if she stayed behind in Bermuda's Triangle and help out in the local wrestling things.
he kind of thinks to himself why for a moment, but then it clicks and he's like, "Wait, you don't mean after that wrestling match that she had with Jaws, right? That was crazy."
Exactly after that match.
Damn. I mean, everyone in the world saw that moment. I mean, I'm glad she claimed the title, but her dad's nuts. I've never seen a guy punch that much. Sorry, big man. As he just like pats Erg on the shoulder, as if to think, nah, you've been the strongest guy he's known so far until that happened.
Berg just sighs and's like, it's fine.
But then he looks over at Artemis and is just like, "Hey, and you got a new friend." And as Artemis clocks onto this, just goes, "I think it more of a convenient acquaintance more than friendship, but sure." A kickflip a little taken back by it, but it's like, okay, I can dig it. And then he looks over to you guys and just goes, "Hey, well, I found you guys. You must have just came in. How about you come back to my place and we can crash, catch up with some things?"
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Great, even Artemis is up for it as well. And so, Kickflip takes you back to where he's staying at the moment. He's actually staying in a pretty snazzy hotel. Apparently, the skateboarding contest is actually looking after their members quite well. The hotel it's not quite 5-star, but at least 4 stars. A very nice location. And when Kickflip and you guys come on in, he goes up to reception, basically blags a little bit about how you guys are like his close buddies, and it seems as if reception just passes over a key to him, but he passes back over to you. And just goes, "Hey guys, guess what? Just used my skills, got you a room for the hotel."
That's nice.
"Yeah, you're welcome. Turns out they love me here. I mean, a half American, half Japanese Loblin that can shred and kick ass. They love it in Miami."
Yep.
Now, at this moment in time, Liam, you're happy that you guys have a room, but you can't help but thinking you're being watched.
Yeah.
You can't help but think that there is a pair of eyes watching you guys whilst this is all occurring. And you have a strange feeling that this pair of eyes have been tracking you ever since you got off the boat.
And this is why I don't like traveling via water.
Now, with this in mind, only you know that this at the moment. Are you willing to let everyone else know, or are you going to keep it to yourself at the moment?
For the moment, I just say that, but I say that out loud. But still, the rest I will keep. Liam will keep to himself.
Alright. I know, right, Yuki, by the way. It's a weird world we live in. Okie doke. So, with that in mind, he thinks to himself, "Except, right, you got yourself a room, but let's check it out. Damn."
Yeah, let's check it out.
Nice one. Takes you guys over to like this really ornate elevator as you guys go up. You seem to go near the top of the hotel where you have the penthouse suites, which you guys have one of. You go to the door that has your room key. As the room key goes in, it's like one of those electro doors where you just stick the card against the door, it goes meep meep, and you're able to open it up. As you open it up, it is a lovely large room. Huge, but seemingly really big lounge area with chairs, sofas, really comfy bits, a table with a nice big basket full of fruit in there. Nice little chill out pad for you guys to just relax, let your load off.
Well, this is nice. Maybe there is something wrong with this hotel. I think I could do a little checking. And he pulls out his because he looks around the room to see is there any kind of camera like outside the door.
You mean like
And,
security camera for like the area you're in, or?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Roll me a smarts check, see if you can identify any nearby.
Yep. That's a 10.
Alright. You get a little bit suspicious, and as the suspicion rises, you just take an odd little step out of the room, do a little bit of a scour around. You notice a security camera about above and left to where your door is. So if you wanted to like jack in, so to speak, and see if you can find out anything, go for it.
Yeah, Liam would like to hijack the signal so he can keep eye out for anything suspicious going on in the hallway without opening the door.
That's cool. You do, since you've jacked yourself in, you've dialed a little bit, did some coding on your little device, and effectively you've set up a similar system as you did back in the Bermuda Triangle Stadium that you were in, where if anything was to happen or go off, so to speak, your little device would like vibrate or ping at you to let you know.
Yes.
So that in mind, lovely lounge area. Artemis is going to go in and have a look a bit and generally find like the biggest, most comfiest sofa and just get comfy quick. They're just leaping on it, get into a nice laid down position is just like, okay, I can get used to this.
Just relax. I don't know is something happening, but there might be something happening, and I want you to be ready if things start happening.
Like kickflip just comes on over and pats you on the shoulder. It's just like, dude, it's Miami Beach. It's a nice hotel. Come on, don't be worried. It's great. Ain't nothing to be worried about. This hotel is a 4-star marvel. They got security running around every few seconds. Ain't no way that nothing's gonna happen here, man. It's all good.
You let's see. You haven't been to war, have you?
Dude, you gonna bring war me, man?
Because that shows you the real mean of security. The real meaning of security.
Way to get real, man. That's heavy.
Yeah, it is. But it's also the reality of the situation.
Damn. Now, whilst you guys are having like that kind of serious conversation, Erg, what are you doing in the room? Out of curiosity.
Chillaxing.
Nice.
He's
And
just
as you-
found a comfy bed and he's bouncing on it.
Lovely. Now, as you guys are chilling out, you're getting a nice feel of things. Liam, you're a bit hesitant, but yeah, even you've got to admire yeah, the room is nice of a grand scheme of
Yeah.
things. It's good. But as it is good, you guys are just walking in, chilling out, you're having a great time. As seemingly the door behind you closes, but none of you went to close the door. What?
Just looks up from the bed. Ooh, automatic door.
Kickflip looks over at you and just goes, "Dude, these doors ain't automatic, man. You still gotta close them by
Yeah.
hand."
Yeah, that's something I was a bit worried about.
And
So, no automatic door.
that's right, man. Seemingly one by one, you turn your heads towards the door, wondering who's closed it and if there's anyone there. As you look over, you do see someone. And this person is very unique. They are about the size of a gnome. And they are a gnome wearing a wrestling mask. And they are dressed up in quite a very loud, fluorescent, elegant outfit, sparkling, all these different colours, dazzling, exciting. And just simply standing in the doorway.
As Liam notices these people, he just says, "Okay, what's your business here?"
And that's when we get introduced to a new character.
I mean, I was
Sorry, Tash,
initially thinking.
I was thinking of a way to introduce your new character.
No, I was thinking. No, to be honest, it's fine. Like, I was thinking, I don't think he would have been wearing his mask at first, but I mean, we could roll with this. We can. I mean, we can either roll or retcon. Your choice. DM's choice.
I say roll because now it's canon.
Okay. So what you see before you is obviously a small gnome with a top hat.
Here we are.
A top hat with a kind of like typical luchador kind of mask covering like only the top part of his like head. Like the mouth bit is like open sort of thing, whereas like mustache, like where a kind of like blonde, like sort of platinum blonde, or at least like light blonde mustache, it's like protrudes from underneath the nose, and with it he's sort of like wrapped part of his body like with a cape, but as he like flicks the cape away, you see a kind of it's kind of like a unitard, but it's got, well, it's kind of a cross between like a leotard and like it has like a waist jacket kind of thing going on. Like it's like a unitard, but it has like a waist jackety kind of thing, and like sort of little knee-high boots, and with a maniacal grin, you just hear with the glint, with a twirl of my tash and a flick of my cape, with a I'm trying to remember what the thing was now. I'm so sorry. With the tip of my hat, there is no escape, for you are faced with the most dastardly of foes. Say hello to Dr. Thaddeus the Dastardly!
Hello, what's so funny?
Well, I don't know what's so funny to you, except I'm seeing you complete how do I put it? A mixed bag here. You must be a giant rock man. You must be a fox. And you must be some kind of dark skinned elf. And you, my boy, must be a rabbit.
I'm not a giant rock man, I'm Erg.
Rock man, you seem like the same thing.
It's like at this moment in time you just have Kickflip edging close to Liam and just going, I'm kind of freaked out, man.
There are a lot of rock man, there's only one Erg.
You see Kickflip, what I mean?
So, you got any war stories about this, dude?
Not particularly this one, but it's not the first time I see some sort of a manic.
Oh, so you've seen many manics before me,
Yes.
Well, you've never, but have you met anyone as dastardly as me?
I met Mike Jaws once.
Yeah.
Oh, the shark that got his back broken by some masked individual. Well, that was certain. That certainly broke the news, didn't it?
No, it broke his back.
It was supposed to be a pun. But
Confusion on Erg's face, looking towards Liam like, what's going on? What's a pun?
I'm sorry about my friend here. He doesn't understand sarcasm or puns.
oh, so quite a simple fellow, I see. Well, I suppose that would be a good trait for a lackey. They can't really divulge any diabolical schemes I have up my sleeves.
What diabolical schemes do you have up your sleeves?
Oh, well, if
They
I
can't
told
be
you
big
all them.
schemes. You can't be big schemes, you have small sleeves.
Very funny, Rockman. But if I told you all my diabolical schemes, then you, the heroes, would have ways to stop me, and that wouldn't be fun, now, wouldn't it?
I could stop you, you're tiny.
Small as I may be, I am quite a force to be reckoned with.
Have you met me?
Well, I've met you now, and let me tell you, I'm not very impressed.
I want to dunk her. I want to dunk them now.
Him.
I wasn't
Is it
sure.
him? He's got like a moustache.
Yeah, I've seen women with mustaches, to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, look at my ex.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
The funny thing is,
Boom.
he's not wrong.
ouch.
God damn it.
You may attempt
I've
to
made more
dunk
choices.
if you wish.
I kind of do.
Okay. You get up off of your relaxed position. You head on over. Being somewhat intimidating as you just seem to tower over the gnome. But do you grab the gnome? Roll me an attack against Dr. Thaddeus.
Remind me again what I'm rolling for the attack.
You are... Let me see. Now, how about... Now, are you doing this as like a power dunk? Or are you doing this as like a quick dunk? Or...
I'm doing this as a straight up. I'm gonna pick them up by their head. No faff, no frills. Just grab them by the head and dunk them through something that's in the room that just so happens to look exactly like a basketball hoop.
Okay, which there just so happens to be in this large lounge area. So I will let you do this as a power attack. So that'll be a D12 plus for POW.
That's a 16.
Oh yeah, that definitely hits.
You effectively just pick up Dr. Thaddeus by the temple. Just boof, pick up, bring over. At this time, I can just imagine Dr. Thaddeus just just fidgeting about everywhere. Just going, put me down, put me down, put me down.
Put me down, you brute! I will end you!
I
And
just
thus,
put you down through the loop.
le dunk. And as you land said dunk, you do deal 8 points of damage to Dr. Thaddeus.
I haven't actually put in my hit points yet. I thought I'd be more prepared than this. I just need to remember looking at the.
I'm still not apologising.
I think
No, not at all.
I think
I don't
HP wise
expect
at the
an
moment,
apology.
you'll be okay. You'll hurt, but you're not so hurt
Yeah.
that
I'm just trying to remember what the starting HP is like. 12 plus toughness. Or
excuse
something
me.
completely different.
No, that's
I
right.
can't-
It would be
12 plus
12
2.
plus your toughness,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then it would be a D12 plus your toughness each level.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna level that up like 5 times and all that jazz. So let me have a look. See, do. Oh, I need to roll stuff, don't I?
Yeah.
Okay, fair
We
enough.
can always do that after the session tonight.
Yeah.
Nothing's in place.
I just have to remember.
Let 8
Yeah.
point.
Okay, so
You get dunked.
Okay.
with,
Oh, yeah, I get
with a conveniently placed basketball hoop in this lounge.
I swear they knew we were coming.
Now, how do you react to the dunk?
well, he's not really pleased about being dunked.
Why not? It was by the Ergmeister.
Like, oh man, yeah. After getting dunked, sort of thing. That barely hurt at all. That barely hurt at all. Yeah, it's just. Yeah, he's trying to mask the fact that it actually hurt.
Just look you dead in the eye. Who's a force to be reckoned with?
Look, I will get you back one way or another. Every dastardly villain has a plan of revenge that's only revealed at the climax. Don't you worry, you'll get what you deserve.
You didn't answer my question.
That's because I don't have to answer to a big, simple rock as yourself.
Erg's hand starts twitching to reach out again.
He's gonna be dead.
Oh god.
Stop it. Learn
I'm
your
so
place. Learn humility, please.
Toss the gnome out the window, suggests Yuki.
Yeah, Leah would actually suggest the same.
hearing this, Erg just sort of looks at his hand, looks out the window, looks back at the gnome. Answer the question.
Now, would a hero such as yourself think about throwing a poor, small gnome out of a window and see them splat on the ground? Would you be able to live with the guilt?
I'd just be thinking about how far you'd bounce.
Well, that is true. I tend to bounce back after every fall or so.
Please let there be a pool.
Erg looks out the window. Is there a pool?
You can just about manage to see a pool.
Erg's hand reaches out and grabs hold of his head. Answer the question.
Well, or can you?
Yes. Roll
Good
another
point.
attack.
Right, I'm going for this one. Come on. Daddy needs a pull shot.
God damn it. Oh.
It's a critical!
Oh.
Oh
Well.
no.
Oh, god damn it.
Well, you better get ready for your third backup character. Joking. So you effectively at this moment you're just grabbing
I haven't
the
decided on
doctor.
an action yet.
Oh god.
Just grab them by the head, lift them right up to my face, so there's about an inch between my face and theirs, staring them right eye to eye. Answer the question, and then flash them a big diamond tooth smile.
Oh god.
I'm sorry, I forgot what question it was you were asking. You just sounded so boring when you asked it.
The question was, how fast are you going to go down to that pool?
How fast? Yeah. What? How fast?
Yeah, how fast are you going to go out that window down to that pool?
For my dramatic escape? Well, no, for my dramatic escape? Probably very far. Probably very fast.
Dramatic escape? No. Very fast. Quite likely. And with that, just does a little fling and tosses her out the window. To the side.
Now, may I try and do the adaptive climber thing and sort of somehow grab onto like the window, like sort of thing, and then just, I don't know, swing back into the room, or maybe swing back onto Erg and like sort of just put him. Well, I say put him in a headlock sort of thing, but like just sort of like be an absolute nuisance to him.
I get you. Tell you what, roll me a cunning save.
Okay, cunning, and that is +2 because of my adaptive climber.
Oh yes.
When climbing any surfaces that requires a check, yeah. So cunning save. So it's D12 or D6?
That's for D6.
Okay, +9 then. Jesus. It's a 10?
Well, you get yeet. Well, since the yeet is indeed occurring, I'm just gonna I'll do a minor roll here, just to check it. No, that's not too bad. Okay, you get yeeted towards the window, and as you do see, like, you get out the window where to the balcony is, and as you're yeeted out to the balcony, you see the barricades on the outside of the balcony that obviously stop you from falling off. You see one of the bars, and you just like you seem to grab one of the bars, use the momentum that you have from the yeet to swing underneath the bar, and leap yourself back towards Erg. And as you leap towards Erg, you basically just go like kind of like a cartoony splat onto Erg's chest.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a slow just scratch down. Plop.
Looks down. It just looks down at you on his chest, like, not bad, little one. Not bad.
No, I haven't.
You have gained. Make sure you add this into your inventory. You've gained Erg's respect.
Hey!
Yes.
With that, he'll pick you up gently, put you down, and go back to lounging on the bed.
Yay!
Like Kickflip just kind of runs over and it's just like, dude, are you alright? That was sick.
Yeah, that Dr. Thaddeus just sort of like brushes himself like, well, I've had worse falls than that, let me tell you. And I bounce right back, so I'm absolutely fine, Rabbit Boy.
From this point on, Erg is just going to refer to Dr. Thaddeus as basketball, though.
Basketball.
Brilliant.
Fair.
Like Kickflip kind of chuckles a bit, and but seemingly just like snaps and just feels. Wait a minute, man! Like, even after all this, what the heck are you doing? Sneaking into the room like that, dude?
Yes, Dom. What was I doing, sneaking into the room like that?
Well,
So far, I've surmised that it's basketball practice for Erg.
well, that's fair. Well, the thing is, Dr. Thaddeus, these guys might be wondering where you've been and how this has come to pass. Let's rewind time a little bit. Specifically, rewinding time back to the Bermuda Triangle,
Oh,
where Dr. Thaddeus the gnome was watching the main event itself between Lavanya and Mike Jaws. Just watching it and enjoying the show just like everyone else, seeming just a little bit unimpressed at times, as if to think, if I was in the main event, I could do so much more!
I was going to say whether he was wearing his mask or not.
Up to you whether he would have been wearing his mask while watching the match.
I mean, let's say no. Let's say no, just for funsies.
You're seemingly watching the match, but you're like because you're not wearing the mask. You're
like he's more in awe at all the people like just wrestling. Like, oh, this is so great! I'm the biggest fan. Yeah.
You're simply watching in amazement as this match like is really darn awesome. You see the befuddlement that happened to Mike Jaws when he got attacked by that mysterious individual, and it aggravated you. It changed your passion and fire for the match into anger for whomever ruined this amazing match. At least in your eyes, the match was ruined.
Yeah.
And so it's like as if you watched the match, and when it all transpired, including what happened with Radovan Rekabal, Lavanya's father, you take all those moments on the ball, you go back to your house, and when you're back to your house, you're always watching the news for updates on Jaws, on Lavanya, the rest of the squad. You're just following them to the T. And as you're following them, you feel that no, it is your time to step up. Your time to potentially get to the bottom of what could be a big problem in the wrestling world. You believe that now it is your time to get your mantle and become the wrestler you were meant to be. The dastardly one himself.
No.
And as you have spent time like getting the look together, you maybe even like went to the hospital unmasked, seemingly just walking around as if you're visiting someone else.
Yes.
when because you're a gnome and you're just easy to hide behind like conveniently placed plant pot, for example. You caught on to the conversation that AJ had with you guys involving Mad World, the group, and even caught an eye at that poster of Mad World being in Miami Beach. You caught wind of everything. You thought, I gotta do something. Grabbing like your pack and whatever you can get a hold of, the mask and everything, finding your way onto the boat which the guys were travelling on, and effectively travelled to Miami Beach following the guys. And then you thought to yourself,
he's a fan.
yeah, basically.
He's a fanboy.
He's a fanboy. And you followed the guys, you saw Erg's strength at the Muscle Beach, you saw them interacting with Kickflip, staying far enough behind where you're not going to be noticed by them, but still trying to just act normal as a gnome would. And then when you followed them to the hotel, and you saw them get their room going up to the penthouse suites, you track them up there, and then you believe to yourself that there's only one way to introduce yourself. You could go in there as the crazed fan, but then will they take you seriously? How would that go down? You thought no. The only way to make an entrance with wrestlers is to be a wrestler.
Is to be the Doctor.
Irony
And
is,
so-
if you'd have probably come in as a crazed fan, you'd have probably got less hurt.
And so you
I mean,
you donned your outfit, snuck into the room, closed the door, and unleashed Dr. Thaddeus the Dastardly as these events unfolded. And you've pretty much explained this whole story leading up to this moment at that time. And now everyone understands where you have come from, and you are effectively here to assist in finding and potentially bringing justice to that of Dark World.
and that's how I, Dr. Thaddeus the Dastardly, managed to find you all and unleashed and made the grand entrance to impress you all. Mainly, I'm just here to kind of, give you some kind of assistance with this mad world you've been talking about.
Yeah, you're talking about mad world. I see you have gotten the mad, but I don't see have you gotten the world.
Look, I managed to track you all down from the Bermuda Triangle to Miami without so much as a bit of a suspicion or getting caught up until this point. You've got to at least be impressed.
I'm not impressed. I had a feeling that we had eyes on our back.
Ugh, you don't appreciate true villainy when you see it.
The only thing I appreciate is how bouncy you are, basketball.
God damn it.
Oh, it's great.
But yeah.
Like when you make that remark, like Kickflip is kind of like trying to keep to himself, but he just goes, not trying to hold back the laughter.
And what are you finding so funny, boy?
Kickflip just looks over. It's just like, nothing, man.
I should suggest it'd be nothing, because otherwise because I've thought of at least 50 ways to get my revenge on you, should you think that laughing at me is but a logical way of expressing yourself.
Do you want to go out the window again?
Not really, no.
Shut up.
You shut up.
Erg stands up.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Dang it.
Oh no. He
Oh,
stands
God.
up. All right, go on.
I'm just standing for now. I'm just seeing what your reaction is.
Like he's just like sort of trying to like make himself like big, make himself big despite his diminutive size.
Dom, can I use larger than life on Dr. Thaddeus, please?
Oh god.
Okay, what do I need to roll?
Oh no. Okay. Here we go. Right. Let me get the page up just so I can
Oh,
get it all
God.
sorted. Okay, larger than life. So, glaring at Dr. Thaddeus. Thaddeus, you must roll a power save.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roll well, please.
Bearing in mind, if you hit
Fuck.
6, it is an auto pass.
Nope, it's not an auto pass. I believe it is a fail.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 5.
Ouch. Well, with larger than life, it's like as if Erg is looking at you like a mountain stares down at a climber when he's at the summit. And the sheer gaze of Erg like you're trying to be big on the top side, your bottom side is shaking like mad.
Like, you can just see his legs shaking, like trembling.
Like you're just hearing like
all you see
the
on his face is just like his eyes seem to glow and his smile just gets wider as if it's about to swallow you.
as if like you're hearing like the rattling jingle of bones
Yeah.
shaking.
Yeah, like, I'm not scared of you, big rock guy. I'm definitely not scared of you.
Earth just takes one small sudden step forward.
And yeah, he's like, don't come any closer.
Like
Earth just steps back and lies down again with a massive smile on his face.
like kickflip just like jumps in between. Just like, dudes, come on, man. Look, I understand it's a little bit crazy. This guy's a little bit crazy, that's for sure. But hey, if he wants to help us, I don't know about what this whole Mad World thing is going on right now. I didn't even know that was linked to that guy that attacked Jaws. But heck, I'm here to help as well, man. Why don't we all team up and find out where these Mad World guys are?
I
Yes,
like the idea of team.
yes. I suppose I'll have to work with you guys in order to at least gain what little respect and dignity I have left.
Ain't that right?
Oh man.
Okay. with an introduction of an interesting character brought into the group, a penthouse suite that is oh so sweet, and the reintroduction of a great friend from time gone by. The party are ready to begin their search for Mad World and Miami Beach. Where will they be? What are they up to? How do they smell? Bit of a weird thing to bring out, but could be a factor. I don't know. Well, there's only one way to find out. That's to tune in to the next session of Ring Warriors.
To answer your last question, Erg smells like mountain pine.
Nice. I can dig that. Is that like the mountain pine that you put in your car?
Yeah, that's
Nice.
exactly what I had in mind.
That's brilliant.
Erg smells like a really nice car air freshener. Not like a cheap one, like a proper expensive one.
Nice.
And Liam smells like, like Star shampoo.
Nice.
And Dr. Thaddeus Dastardly smells like disappointment and villainy.
And then Artemis smells.
That's it. With her nose.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. She smells. That's it.
That's it.
Which is a famous spin-off t-shirt that you can maybe get your hands on in the merch store that doesn't quite maybe exist yet.
Remember, guys, sharkonrobot.com.
There you go. Sharkonrobot.com. There's a website that doesn't quite exist but will exist at some point, maybe, kind of, I don't know.
Yes.
Well, with that being said, I hope everyone enjoyed the session, enjoyed the party, and enjoyed the fun times. As we are back in 2020, Ring Warriors Fun Times. And it's so fun,
Yes.
I already have to say that next week we're not here.
Aw.
But for good reason, because my girlfriend's over. My girlfriend is over next Friday. There will be week's break. And then we'll be back afterwards to have some more fun times.
Ah.
Happy days. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, wrestling fans alike, welcome, and I hope you have enjoyed this session of Ring Warriors. If you have, by all means, why don't you consider following, subscribing, and all that fun jazz wherever you may be. Join the Discord server, join in the fun on all the social links that you can find down in the description or down in the panels wherever you may be watching this live stream. And tune in next time for some more live streaming fun times, or Ring Warriors fun times, wherever you may be. Till then, I'm obviously your host and Game Master as always, WX Coles, and I'm joined by the crew.
Hello, bye. I mean, what?
I am here and I enjoyed.
Nice.
I certainly enjoyed as well.
Lovely. And will you say goodbye to the audience?
Bye bye.
Yes. Good night.
Bye.
That is goodbye for me as well. Stay expressive, everyone. See you next time. Bye.